This tutorial is to describe the Apidb homepage. At the top of the page you'll see a red navigation bar that includes links back to the homepage, to the queries grid, which is a listing of all of the queries available on the site, a link to the query history, which lists the queries that have been run. There's also a link here which displays the count of all the queries that have been run, a link to the data sources that are present and displayed within the site, a link to download FASTA files, and a link to the help section. Here one can send emails to request a new feature to add into the site or to request help using a various function of the site. There's a listing of all the genomes present in Apidb. If one mouses over these, another window pops up and you can click on links to get to other information such as the taxon ID or to the other sites such as CryptoDB. There's information when the sequence was last updated, the size of the genome, the gene count, and some information about the data types available for that genome. There are also links to the individual websites, CryptoDB and PlasmoDB and ToxoDB. There's a link for various tools, the Sequence Retrieval Tool, or SRT, which is a tool that allows one to query for and download sequences of various types such as genomic, protein, CDS, or transcripts. A link to ApiPsych, which allows one to query various metabolic pathways, a link to BLAST, and also a link to KEGG. There's a listing of Apidb news items, and then further down on the page there's a login section where one can log in, and any queries run within that session will be stored and available to the user upon logging in to a new session. If you need a password for this, click on the register or subscribe link. There's also a display of the query grid. This will be described in another tutorial called the query grid or query tutorial, and this is sectioned into queries to identify genes, to identify genomic sequences, to identify ESTs, to identify SNPs, and to identify ORFs. There's also various links for Apidb research, outreach items, resources, and information and help.